Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the language of business. Today we are looking at Zoomcar Holdings and their recent filing. It seems like they had to issue some extra shares to settle a debt. Was it worth it for them or a tough deal? Let's dive in. Before getting started, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Join to meet like-minded decoders. Zoomcar, a company known for car sharing, had to deal with some financial cleanup. Basically, they offered shares and warrants a few months ago, but they didn't get everything registered quickly enough like they promised. This triggered some penalties called liquidated damages, which is a fancy term for you owe us money because you didn't do what you said you'd do. Instead of paying cash, Zoomcar decided to give the investors more warrants. Under the settlement letter, the company agreed to issue an aggregate of almost 2 million pre-funded warrants with an aggregate value of about $3 million to the investors. These warrants give the investors the right to buy shares of Zoomcar stock at a very low price. It is like getting a huge discount. Each of these almost 2 million settlement warrants lets the holder settle for a share of common stock for just 1/100 of a cent. These can be cashed in whenever the holders want in exchange for the shares. Zoomcar calculated the value of these warrants based on the average price of their stock over the 5 days before the agreement. At that time, the warrants value was about $3 million. This means Zoomcar avoided paying cash by giving away the potential to issue almost 2 million shares in the future at a very cheap price. The settlement warrants also have built-in penalties if Zoomcar doesn't deliver the shares quickly enough when someone exercises their warrants. It incentivizes Zoomcar to make sure they follow through on their end of the deal. These settlement warrants have terms about things like stock splits and mergers. This protects the warrant holder and makes sure they are either rewarded or have their positions adjusted if such a corporate event happens. If you're curious, you can check out the full settlement letters and warrant information in the exhibits of this report. But the key takeaway is this: Zoomcar used more potential shares to settle a debt. This section simply notes that the information about issuing warrants we discussed earlier is also relevant to unregistered sales of equity securities. Basically, it is a reference to the information we have already gone through. So what does this all mean? On one hand, Zoomcar avoided paying out cash when they might want it for other operations and investments. On the other hand, they potentially diluted their existing shareholders by adding a large number of new shares into the market. Dilution is basically when the value of each existing share goes down a bit, because there are more pieces of the company pie. Also, should the settlement warrant holders choose to cash out quickly, the stock price could be temporarily impacted because of selling pressure. In conclusion, this settlement seems like a short-term solution that could have some long-term costs for Zoomcar. It really comes down to how well they use their cash and whether or not in the end it's going to turn out to be worth the pain of handing out 2 million extra shares. What do you think about Zoomcar's move to settle this debt with warrants? Is this a smart financial decision or a risky gamble? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more corporate analysis. And don't forget to join the Discord server through the link in the description, where we can discuss these topics even further. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.